Hey friends, welcome to Fight Song Podcast. I'm Dan Wilburn. Sacha and I take you back to 92 with Sir Mix-a-Lot, Baby Got Back, and Positive K's I Got a Man. My friend and stand-up comedian Sumak Torgalkar joined us for the episode. His album, The Mispronunciation of Sumak Torgalkar, peaked in the iTunes Top 10 when it was released. You can find him at sumakcomedy.com, and we'll post links on fightsongpodcast.com where you can vote for this episode and check out our other episodes. This intro is over. This is funny because I don't hear you in my ear like we have been the last 4 episodes.
It's going to be a different dynamic.
Feels like we're in some kind of like fucked up club where like we shouldn't be doing this.
It's like we're in some shitty house in Van Nuys.
All right, so thank you guys for coming to my men's rights group.
No, ma'am. Are we at no, ma'am right now?
So because of when we're recording this, there's not a lot of info on the most recent episode, Papa Roach and Evanescence, but when I checked like an hour ago, Papa Roach was blowing Evanescence away with 25% lead. Based on that, assume that Papa Roach will win that episode easily.
Yeah, I'm not surprised.
But then we both said that Evanescence Bring Me to Life was the one that was stuck in my head for days, like with a vengeance after that episode, not Last Resort. And I almost want to change my official vote because...
But that doesn't mean it's good. There's a lot of catchy songs that are bad. Like...
Yeah, that one.
I just mean like if you're... Both songs are terrible, but if you're in a room, if you're like a party, like if the three of us... or like hanging out in my living room, chugging beers.
Or say the room behind your house.
Or the room behind my house. No girls around, you know, and like we're just listening to like the radio casually because that's what guys do, right?
Yeah, like I bring my tapes.
30-year-old men do that.
I bring my tapes and I put
you
some
bring
on.
Your tapes, you pop them in, Evanescence comes on and we're like, like cool, like what's next? Papa Roach comes on and everybody's just like ironically fist bumping or maybe unironically.
My favorite part of that episode is when you go to speak then Papa Roach plays suddenly. That's my favorite part of that episode.
It's not, yeah, it's like this line of
You're
just
like,
him.
Well, let me tell you what I think about something. And
you know what's great too that I noticed in that I didn't notice at the time is just his inflection of those words in his singing. It's like, cut my life into pieces. Like the producer was in there like, no, enunciate that sharply.
So we have a guest on the episode who is one of my friends that I met in Columbus when I started in the stand-up scene. Sumak Torgalkar is our guest, our second guest.
I thought you ordered us a stripper to commemorate our 5th episode, but
I guess the episode's not over yet.
Oh, that's cool. No, we could talk music. All right.
Oh, is that what we're doing out here in your barn?
My chicken coop.
Yeah. Sumak is one of the first people I kind of befriended and met in that scene. And when he told me he had even listened to one of the episodes of the podcast, and I knew I would be out here in LA, it seemed like a good match to talk about today's matchup, Sir Mix-a-Lot, Baby Got Back, and Positive K's I Got a Man. But would you like to weigh in on the most recent which
one?
Was
yeah,
fresh in our minds?
Agreed with you guys on Papa Roach. I didn't enjoy that Evanescence song when it came out, and I don't think it's stood the test of time in any realm of nostalgia or anything that would lead people to want to continue to listen to it. So I wasn't shocked by your album sale numbers that you revealed, but it shocks me if people are still enjoying this and listening to this now. I don't get it. To give you my most recent memorable experience with Last Resort, I was at a Columbus Blue Jackets game. I was a quarter season ticket holder for one season.
Yeah. Nice.
And they blew the lead in the game. I'm drunk by this point. And, you know, it's like a minute left in the game, and the arena DJ plays Last Resort, like really to add emphasis, like we've got to get a goal now. I got so pissed, I tweeted at the Blue Jackets Twitter account about the poor song choice. And, I mean, the next day when I came to, I apologized to the Blue Jackets Twitter account. But
did they even reply?
They did reply to my apology. I don't think they were happy with what I said initially, whatever it was. I can't even remember. But so that, I think that's where Last Resort has its place. Like,
kind of
you're drunk, it's loud. It still has a nostalgic quality to it. Like, it was on TRL, you know? That's how ridiculous it was. So I think that's where, okay, I'm a little more accepting of it. Evanescence just had no place in my life. I know it was big and they were a big band and that song was huge. I never enjoyed it. I again, if I was just hanging out with you guys, why would we be playing it? Like, I never played it with my friends or anything.
It's not a social song.
Right.
Papa Roach is like a musical high five, you know?
Yeah.
You just like get up and just boom.
You really
You're like,
pop into
yeah.
suicide. It feels great.
Yeah. You know what else you'll hear at a Columbus Blue Jackets game? Bush Machine Head is the theme song, which was also
Yeah.
so you can catch.
That doesn't surprise me. I feel like we've
That's
talked
the
about how
team
you hear it
song.
at a sports game.
You'll hear like the hits of Fight Song podcast at a Blue Jackets game.
Is there any band or song from that era that's really stood the test of time at all?
Limp Bizkit's pretty bad overall, but I think you'll still hear Nookie.
Yeah, you still hear a lot of that shit. I mean, does that count as standing the test of time?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, people are playing it, but why are they playing it, I guess? Are we really, truly enjoying this? Are we wink, wink, like, hey, here's a Facebook event, Limp Bizkit at wherever gas station, like that type of appeal to this music at this point?
Columbus specifically, I think, is single-handedly keeping all of those bands in business with the Blitz. 99.7 The Blitz, our rock station, is like the home of late 90s, early 2000s new metal underbite rock, and they're all about it. And you might get lucky and catch like something like Metallica or Foo Fighters or something, but their bread and butter is like Nickelback, Sumach's favorite, Shinedown, Drowning Pool, Disturbed.
Yeah, I performed at Rock on the Range. Like, I did stand up there.
Really?
And
Did
it was
you?
it was very, it was that. It was
All
like
every
year of
band
that.
that he just mentioned plays Rock on the Range.
Right, yeah, so.
Well, I joked because Sumac would do like kind of a character bit as the singer from Shinedown.
Shinedown.
What?
Yeah, so I'd put a wig
Unrelated.
on, did his, booming voice and that was his normal talk. And I hate songs where they're like, like Nickelback does, like, look at this photograph, like, you're telling me things. And Shinedown was very about that. Like, I just saw Halley's Comet shooting, and like, it's like, who cares? Like, what are you talking about in this music? And it was just so huge, and I had to make fun of the guy.
But that was unrelated to the Rock on the Range invite,
No,
right?
yeah,
that was just
there's just a comedy
better.
tent at Rock of the Range, and I did stand up at it.
Oh, you didn't do that bit at
no,
Rock
no,
on the Range? Okay.
no. I would.
That's why I was
I would have
thinking
been
that.
killed.
Yeah,
probably.
he didn't want to
Yeah.
be immediately murdered.
But your point to the Blitz is very accurate to it.
And so much so that I call that genre Blitz rock. Everything that we could list relative to that episode, it's not new metal to me, it's just Blitz rock.
We don't have shit for rock radio here. No one here knows what Shinedown is. Like, Shinedown probably doesn't even play LA on tour, honestly.
Interesting.
I bet if I looked it up, they're probably like from LA. I want to look it up while you talk about whatever.
Shinedown is definitely not from LA. I'll tell you that right now.
They seem shitty like they're from like Florida or something.
Yes. I'm pretty sure in my Brent Smith, the lead singer, research, I'm pretty sure they're from Florida.
Is it like are they a
Jacksonville or
Christian
something.
rock band or?
No, but
No?
I wouldn't be shocked if they're kind of in that realm, teetering on it.
Yeah.
They certainly appeal to that base of
Florida.
southern.
Florida?
Yeah.
Wow.
And coincidentally are playing Los Angeles on April 7th.
Where? What venue are they playing?
Belasco Theater.
Oh, they're a pretty big band.
And then House of Blues in Anaheim.
But I bet in like Columbus, they're playing like
The Schottenstein
The
Center.
outdoor
Yeah,
arena.
yeah,
The
not
arena, yeah.
they're not playing at the Newport.
A club
they're
show.
They're playing like a theater.
They could be bigger at this point. Who knows? I don't know.
Well, they're the best band, so. Well, taking a massive leap from early
I know, what are we
2000,
talking about on this
2000 and
episode?
2003. I think this is nice that we get to do a second episode on Papa Roach and Evanescence. So Baby Got Back and Positive K are both 92. I was worried going into this matchup that Positive K wasn't nearly as popular, but after looking at it, that was a pretty big hit. I just don't think I heard it a lot or saw the video, but you
No, it was
guys
a big
both
deal.
remembered the video, and I just don't remember it being around.
It was on MTV and on the radio all the time. Yeah, for sure.
But again, I don't know what I Got a Man's place is to people now as compared to Baby Got Back.
Baby Got Back is definitely a more legendary hit. But Positive Case, they still play that song on whatever the like nostalgia station is here. and
Yeah,
stuff.
the 90s at 9, Sirius XM.
Yeah,
kinda
you still
thing.
hear it. I mean, it's a good song. It's like a clever, unique kind of song.
we wanted to do this episode because we all think it's a good song and it's maybe a little bit underrated.
I mean, it's honestly hilarious still.
Well,
He
it came
nailed it.
from, and I only know this from our 1 second of research. So Positive K did a duet with MC Light that is like very similar called I'm Not Having It. It was her song,
It was
and
her song,
he was the guest on it.
Right.
And it's the same premise.
Oh, really?
And then like a year later, he did his own version of it. Do you guys know what MTV Party to Go is? That series, that CD series?
I remember that vaguely. I don't
So
know.
before I actually got into music, I didn't know anything about music, and I had 2 or 3 MTV Party to Go discs, which were like compilations from Tommy Boy Records. Coincidentally, Baby Got Back and I Got a Man are on the same one. That's how I know both of these songs. Was on a CD compilation brought to you by MTV of hot urban dance hits of the time.
They are also on another compilation album together called Monsters of Rap.
Not Monsters of Rock, but
Didn't
No,
really
yeah,
catch
the
on like
same
Monsters of
people
Rock
who
did,
created
yeah.
Monsters of Rock decided they wanted to go off in the rap realm and did the same thing with this era of music.
And I just wouldn't have put Positive K up there in the Monsters of Rap category. Sir Mix-a-Lot, yes.
Serious, yeah.
Sir Mix-a-Lot, yes. He is a monster of rap. He's on the Beavis and Butthead Experience. I don't know how much more Monsters of Rap you get.
What year were you experiencing that?
Probably just before high school, so probably junior high. I was a late bloomer in a lot of things, so when I have a conversation with someone like Sacha, who's like, yeah, I got Metallica and Justice for All.
I was an
and
early
like,
adopter for everything, yeah.
Yeah,
I only have the demo for Injustice for All.
You have like Cliff Burton demos of songs that made it on Injustice for All, and I'm like wearing a silk shirt and listening to MTV Party to Go, probably still wearing sweatpants.
No, but that's right. I remember being at like pool parties, like birthday parties at like probably, yeah, I want to say 6th grade, maybe something like that. And this shit was playing, like these super misogynistic songs were playing with like adult parents around like 12-year-old kids.
So maybe I was hipper than I realized. So I was listening to them when they were coming out.
Yeah. This is the poser police coming to arrest you. Let's see, 92? I bet Today Was a Good Day by Ice Cube is on. That's like the same year The Chronic came out, right?
Let Me Ride is on one of them, but
Yeah.
Today Was a Good Day would be a little too hard. And
that
you'd
too
have,
hard?
You'd have to bleep out a lot.
Right. See, Monsters of Rap understood that, and so strangely enough, no one from that realm of rap was considered a monster. It was, Rex and Effect. They were a monster.
yeah.
It was more party rap, you mean?
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
They didn't actually include monsters of society
Vanilla
on
Ice.
the fucking.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
It was ridiculous.
Do you guys
Yeah, it
think
was-
either one of these songs could exist and like as far as like the political correctness level of
Probably.
either one of these songs?
That was like right before gangster rap really hit. What would be worse about
I just mean
Sir
like
Mix-a-Lot?
the whole like objectifying women aspect of Baby Got Back. Even I Got a Man.
That seems like almost the first tier of misogyny rap.
Well, I'm
was-
just saying now, is there anything like that? Like are people
You're talking about
even
on the radio?
allowed to be like,
Or like a radio hit?
yeah.
I think it'll still fly. I mean, there'll be blowback. I mean, I remember in college, like Nelly's Tip Drill, there was a big issue with that because he was sliding credit cards down women's asses, ass
Right.
cracks.
Yeah.
And so I think it would still exist, but yeah, I think the sensitivity and probably more social media anger, but I don't know. I think both these songs would still fly today.
Yeah.
Baby Got Back is like, it's oddly empowering in that it's like celebrating.
It's
Like a
celebrating
body
the beauty
image thing?
of the woman's body, but it's also excluding girls that don't have like mad cakes. You know what I'm saying?
But I would say specifically black women's.
Yeah. At the same time, it's like body image positive. It's then extremely objectifying of like one part, which is kind of like the definition of objectifying. So it's
Yeah.
like, well, I guess
It still was progressive in early 90s.
when you could probably literally still say faggot in a rap song and have it be fine, I guess you got to take what you can get with misogyny rap. Like, it's not a joke song to him. It just doesn't sound like it's a joke song to him. He like earnestly fucking loves butts. And it never, at no point in that song is he like playing around. Like,
No, you could tell by like just the vivid just examples he's giving you throughout the song about like the things you like. Like right away, he's like, when a girl walks in with an itty bitty waist and a round thing in your face,
You get sprung.
Like, you know, that's based on like reality. Like, that happens to him. He's not just like.
But he wasn't like, isn't that funny, tongue in cheek, wink, wink. He was like, I gotta let the world know.
Yeah. Like, this is
I gotta bring
shit
this to people.
No, those are the best songs. The best art comes from, you know, from your soul.
Was just like,
What was his hit before that? It was like My Posse's on Broadway.
yeah.
But he's talking about Broadway in Seattle. Like, Sir Mix-a-Lot's from Seattle. Like, the least hard fucking
He
city.
has a whole song about it. Seattle ain't bullshit. And that's the track that I sent you.
Boy, this is the SCATOWN.
Fucking, like flexing hard about Seattle. That's
It's like, yo, we got the greenest ass scenery up here, dog. You seen these trees?
When I sent that to you, I was like truly blown away. Like, he did a rap about Seattle, and then Posse on Broadway is still like a regional hit, and they play it at sports games and stuff.
Been to Broadway in Seattle? I mean, I don't know how far down the way that street goes, but I feel like there's a lot of Starbucks on that street. Sir Mix-a-Lot going to Starbucks a lot
he
or
put
something?
it on the map.
What was he doing? He was going to Starbucks, getting pho, a lot of sushi. He went to that Whole Foods, I think. That's what he's talking about. My posse's at Whole Foods.
Yeah, his album is based on
Getting kombucha.
pimping, making sure you know where Seattle is at, and then like making sure that the hemp milk is in stock.
That's really weird in the midst of grunge's emergence.
Yeah.
Right. That was like, I mean, I don't know what year that song's from, but grunge was definitely happening.
That was on the same record, so 92. It was like, you have Nirvana in 91 and Sir Mix-a-Lot in 92, and everyone's like, man, Seattle is the fucking place.
Maybe put Sir Mix-a-Lot in like a flannel or something, some Doc Martens, doing some collab tracks with Mudhoney or something. Then I would feel it a little harder.
He did.
Oh, that's right.
On the Judgment Night.
On Judgment Night.
On the Judgment Night soundtrack.
Dude, the best line ever in that song. Oh my God. He's like, I'm going to put you in the mud, honey. It's so fucking good, dude. It's really, I mean, it's the worst song. Freak Mama.
Is that because Mudhoney's not a very good band?
Yeah, Mudhoney is kind of shitty too. It's so good. He should have won a fucking Grammy for that line alone.
He's an artist, man.
He's honestly like really good. I mean, you've commented on how good the lyric performance, the rap performance in Baby Got Back is.
On that song, it's amazing. I think it's an incredible performance, and he's got just a great voice. But then other songs, when he tries to kind of apply that same tone, I was like, ugh, this is, so this was early 90s rap.
You know what it is like they only can afford the big producer
On one song,
writers
right?
for like a couple songs. They're like, these are gonna be the singles, and the rest we just let Sir Mix-a-Lot do his thing.
Yeah, that was, Rick Rubin produced this record.
Really?
Probably why one song is great and the other ones are okay, but
Rick Rubin produced that
yeah,
record?
he signed him to Def American and then produced the record.
I mean, that's crazy. Good for Rick Rubin.
What was your MTV party to go origin story?
Well, we didn't have cable in our household at the time. So I heard the songs on the radio, but saw the videos later, which might have been in the realm of now these were now VH1
Classic.
realm videos, you know, like they've been passed along.
I don't remember much about the video. I remember like there's some sort of like green screen thing going on where he's standing in front of like a big ass or something like that.
There's like a woman standing on two buns.
Yeah, it was weird. I mean, it wasn't like porn.
A severed woman's bottom on the screen. And
Didn't fill my penis with blood or anything. It just
that's what Put 'Em on the Glass was for.
exactly.
That one was like
He
being like,
followed up. He was like, this is a little too sterile. Like, I need to fucking like.
he's like, they're not getting it. How do we take this up a notch? You guys remember the video for Put 'Em on the Glass?
I don't actually.
I'm like steeped in Sir Mix-a-Lot lore and then know nothing about Positive K. But did either of you have the channel The Box when you had cable when you were younger?
That was like the pay-per-view
Yes.
kind of video
Okay, at
where
least
you like
everyone
pay.
knows what it is.
Yeah, I'm familiar.
I didn't
with it.
have it, but I know what.
Because I've talked to people and that was not part of their life. And Put 'Em on the Glass was like a huge hit because it's just like girls rubbing their tits at a car wash on the glass windows. And it's just that for like 4 minutes. We would just wait around for someone to order Put 'Em on the Glass. And that's all the video was.
But the video still costs like $1 million to make.
They're two very different videos in a sense, because he's just on a soundstage, Sir Mix-a-Lot is, as opposed to
Yeah.
Positive K's outdoor party.
Yeah, they're acting.
Right, yeah.
Scripted. There's a screenplay to it.
A lot
Right.
of bright colors in the clothing, squares.
I really like that video because it gave the feel of that era of music. The way they're dressed, the vibe of the party he's at.
That one's very time-stamped, yeah.
You get the vibe too, like you're learning something as a child too, like on like how to just be like cool, like you're macking it, but you're like cool.
Sir Mix-a-Lot's like, listen, guys, fucking focus
like-
on one thing.
He's like a fucking professor at UCLA in front of a fucking PowerPoint about butts. He's like, do you see this here? That's a fat ass.
He's just laying it out there. It's like a very specific 36, 24, 36, only if she's 5'3".
This is just a side thing I want to say. If you are the type of person that goes onto YouTube and watches old music videos, inevitably somebody is getting nostalgic in the comments. The one in Positive K's I Got a Man is fantastic. Somebody wrote, they need to bring music like this back. Nowadays, every song is about asses and clits and urethras and taints and exposed navels and scrotums and areolas and tongues. One of the top comments on Positive K's I Got a Man music video.
We're talking about every other part of the body.
I really hope the very next comment is, if you like music from this era, you should check out Baby Got Back, where it talks only of butts. And the Positive K video, like you said, is him trying to like mac on this girl who's not having
There's actually 3 separate girls. The first one is just at a party. The second one might be the same girl. I can't remember, but she's kind of out exercising.
Oh
with
yeah, right. He's like
dumbbells and
menacing her at the park.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then the other girl is just sitting at an outdoor, like a restaurant table.
Yeah.
I liked that approach too. It wasn't necessarily the same woman.
It's all the same voice though, isn't it?
Yeah. For whatever reason.
Which, sorry to interrupt, this really fucked me up when I read that he did the voice for the woman on the recording. It's a pitch-shifted voice of Positive K.
Fucking weird.
That's really weird.
I always thought that chick's voice sounded hot too. That's the weirdest part
Yeah,
for
it
me.
sounds like a woman, which is great, but whenever no one knows it, it's kind of like inconsequential. Might as well just have gotten a woman so that I don't have to think about you in the studio like flirting with yourself. But yes, he approaches these 3 women.
Yeah.
You remember that shot in the video where he's on the street with the one that he's trying to get with, and then pops back into the scene where there's 2 scantily clad women just like hanging on him, and he's like, you could have all this. And
Right. He's like, look at all these other girls that I get. Like, can I have you too? She's like,
yeah.
Can you please get away from your man to be with me, who's with 2 other women currently while I'm talking to you?
Yeah, because that was one of his rationales was there's a lot of girls that wouldn't say no, and that's his selling point.
There's a lot of funny things about his just arguments for himself. She's like, my man, like,
My man buys me things and he takes me out.
yeah, and then he's just like, oh, okay, well, you can keep your man because I don't go that route. Like, after all that, he's just like, okay, bitch, like, I don't know what else to tell you. Like, I'm out. Like, please. I mean, he's down for all these things, too. He's like, like, I talk sweet on the phone and, like,
My man writes love letters.
yeah, like, when the question of spending money on this woman comes up, he's just like, like, oh, I'm sorry, I didn't realize, I didn't know what I was signing up for here.
This song came up for you, Sasha, before we even made a matchup. You like texted me like, we should do Positive K, I Got a Man.
Because it's
What made you-
hilarious. It's just all these lines just hit me. I don't know. I think it was on the radio, and I was like, "This is just too amazing to not talk about."
So, Mark, do you remember hearing it in videos or on the radio? Because I
Yeah.
don't remember hearing or seeing it.
Radio and TV. The song was a big deal.
So that made me feel like maybe we were going to help some people hear this for the first time.
It's not popular now. Like you
No.
don't.
I'm just going to go for just a little bit of it.
It's a pretty fire beat. I wonder what they sampled. Not this beat, but the main one.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know if that's like a sample from something, but
The little guitar line or the keyboard line?
just everything. It just works, man.
It's good. Lighthearted. Nice lighthearted.
Yeah, it's just like got a couple drinks in you. Like I could say anything to any woman I want.
So this is what we were talking about. The female voice in this is just Positive K. And now I can never hear it the same way.
That's so weird. That it really is like the creepiest part.
I feel like you had your vote locked in for Positive K before this discovery.
I don't know. I mean, I like both songs equally.
But Sumac, what you were saying earlier, like the song that will be remembered.
Well, that's the thing. Yeah, I was
Baby
thinking
Got Back.
about it. If you go up to a teenager now and bring up either of these songs, and probably there's a lot of influence of Nicki Minaj's Anaconda, that they even have any
Oh, that's right,
awareness
yeah.
of Baby Got Back. But I highly doubt any of them have heard I Got a Man.
That was my fear, actually, in that just people in general.
Yeah, I just don't think till Anaconda came out that maybe there was a knowledge of him for a few years. There's probably a generation that kind of didn't really know him. Then Baby Got Back gets sampled.
My anaconda don't. My anaconda don't.
Yeah, that's pretty blunt.
run unless you got buns, hun.
Boy toy named Troy used to live in
Oh, wow, it's the
Detroit.
same,
Big
same
soaps
beat.
and
Yeah, it's just
the
cut from the song.
and some coins. Where's the shootouts with
I'm sure Sir Mix-a-Lot ain't mad at it.
No, because you know he got paid from that.
Alice, who
Yeah.
bought me Alexander McQueen. He was keeping me
I'll play you the worst thing you have heard in a while.
Worse than Papa Roach.
Yeah. You know the band Throwdown, or of the band Throwdown?
The hardcore band?
Yeah.
Ugh.
So this is Throwdown doing Baby Got Back.
Super hard. That sounds like Papa Roach.
There it does.
Wow, that's really shitty. They're like doing this kind of voice too. This is really bad.
What year is that?
It was like a late 2000s thing.
That's not even... See, I could understand if this was like Papa Roach era, and you thought you were kind of cool.
It would have been
We'll bring
fitting.
Baby Got Back back.
Yeah.
With that, and but to do it,
There's no excuse.
2009,
Their excuses are from Orange County, I think.
So what I was kind of talking about earlier is when he does it, it's for real. That is completely in jest
Those
and
guys
like
have never even seen
totally
a-
ironic.
Yeah, I mean, come on. These have seen some soccer mom booties, but never kind of butts Sir Mix-a-Lot was talking about.
When Sir Mix-a-Lot talks about it, I'm a believer. His flow is so...
Was that Positive K doing the voice at the beginning of the Sir Mix-a-Lot song?
girlfriends, who understands those.
It saddens me
friends.
thinking that people may not
I
have
only
heard
talk to her
this.
because
Like
she
just the
looks
people
like
in the
a
world.
total prostitute, okay?
It's really
her
good.
butt, it's just so big. I can't believe it's just so round. It's like out there. I mean, gross.
This is a very popular song that starts with
She's just so flat.
30
I like
seconds.
big-
She's saying
intro.
she's so black?
Yeah, her butt's just so black.
Is that really what she's saying?
Yeah. If
It's
I
like so racist.
So that's kind of is the thing of like, if we were the episode of The Simpsons where Lisa is in the future and goes to college and there's a class on Itchy and Scratchy where they sit down and deconstruct all the Itchy and Scratchy, this would be us being like, so Baby Got Back actually is a bit of social commentary on the black figure that had been ostracized from attractiveness and fashion. And like, I feel like he's like literally making a comment on that
Wow.
while also making a really gratuitous video. And then jumping into like, my anaconda don't want none unless you got buns, hun. 2 steps forward, 1 step back. So Mix-a-Lot on feminism.
I don't know what he really had to say about feminism, or as much as.
As long as that butt's for him.
Okay, guys, let's do a little game. Let's do a little mental challenge here for you. What song do you think both charted higher and sold more physical copies? Singles, we're talking, not records.
I think Baby Got Back was a top 10 single. I'm going to guess Baby Got Back,
Sumac.
I'll guess I Got a Man.
just to be fair.
Yeah, sure.
I Got a Man peaked at number 14 on the Billboard Hot 100. However, it did sell over 500,000 copies, certified gold. So it's a big deal. Sir Mix-a-Lot, Baby Got Back, from the album Mac Daddy, was the second best-selling song in the U.S. in 1992, right behind Whitney Houston's I Will Always Love You. Is that fucking insane or what?
Jeez.
Let's get a little guess on how many physical copies. Okay, Positive K, over 500,000. Sir Mix-a-Lot, give me a number.
Well, given the company you put it in with that previous comment, I'm going to guess 4 million copies.
You went higher than I even did, but that makes
That's pretty high.
Sense.
Okay, not that high.
We're talking about just the
2.1
single?
was I was going to say 2.1 million.
2,392,000 physical copies that year.
Wow.
in 1 year.
That song was huge.
Clearly, there was a huge gap in popularity in 92, and that's only expanded to this day, which I didn't realize. I just thought they were kind of on the comparable level in 92, and things have changed in 25 years, but...
Yeah.
Sir Mix-a-Lot's not re-recording his hits for pocket money.
He probably signed a better deal. He had a better lawyer than Positive K.
Positive K just got eaten by the machine that was radio rap.
I Will Always Love You was huge.
So huge.
So the idea that Baby Got Back was right behind it
Right.
kind of blows my mind in my memory of 1992, I guess.
Yeah.
I put it at like, okay, if you were going to say I Got a Man was number 14 at its peak, I thought, all right, Baby Got Back, maybe 5-4, something like that.
Sir Mix-a-Lot's rap voice is like Dave Chappelle's Being Silly voice. That was what crossed my mind when I was listening. And then the Positive K regular version I think is just fine, but that re-recording sounds like Tracy Morgan doing a parody of the song, and
He's like, please, man, I just gotta pay rent. I'm just gonna re-record this. Please listen to this instead of the original.
It sounds like he got one chance to do it. They didn't give him one more take.
He went to one of those like booths, like
yeah, he went to like
it's like
the
$5 get your own record made. This is the original?
It's the original.
Okay.
I'm just going to play a short clip so that you can remember this well.
I got it.
I know you got it. It's in your...
For our listeners, you mean?
It's in
Are we going to
your,
get sued, by the way, for playing all this music?
I think I cut them short enough. All right, so here's a re-recording. I'd love our downfall to be playing a re-recording of Positive K's I Got a Man.
Hey, yo, sweetie, you're looking kind of pretty. What's a girl like you doing in this rough city?
Wow, it sounds like he wasn't even hearing the music.
Yeah, I think I like how that sounds. Now, what you say we get to know
I wish everyone could have seen Sasha's face drain from the joy drain from your face, and you became sad like I did in the car.
You don't understand. How should I put it? I got a man.
This is like part 2. It's like the sequel, but it's taking place between two old ass people in like an old folks home.
It was like literally like an audio representation of the ravages of age. I heard it and became sad. It's
Excuse
gonna
me,
be
sweetie,
funny.
do you know if dessert today is Jell-O or tapioca pudding?
Baby, it's 4:30. Let's get dinner. I gotta be in by 7.
what your man got to do with me.
Got a man.
What your man got to do with me.
Got a man.
It just, wow, that's so...
In a certain way, it's a little more authentic because it sounds like he's screaming at a woman like across the street.
I'm sorry, I don't have my hearing aid in, sweetheart. What did you say? You've got a van? I don't... That's fine. I don't need a ride anywhere. You've got a can of what? Diet caffeine-free Coke? I've got a tan. Yeah, I mean, that's your skin tone. That's how God made you. I don't really know what...
Yeah, it's not nearly as coy as the version where it's like flirty, and you can tell his female voice is kind of into it. That re-recording is like her being repulsed and like slowly dialing the cops on her phone while she like maintains eye contact and walks out backwards.
One hand on the mace, the other on 911 on her fucking iPhone.
I knew going into this episode that Positive K had your vote.
I love both songs, but I'm super PK.
I think that's accurate.
This is my issue now as we vote. I think I Got a Man will lose in the voting.
In the
Online?
public voting,
Right.
not just
The-
between
the
the three
way-
of us.
Yeah. The way I look at it is Baby Got Back's great, but I don't ever have a moment where I want to listen to Baby Got Back.
Exactly, because you've heard
And
it a lot.
I Got a Man, I have felt that way
Yeah.
before.
Yeah, I've queued that up just on my own.
Yeah,
So that to me is kind of the deciding factor.
yeah.
For most people, they don't even interact with I Got a Man, which I think is unfortunate.
I didn't expect to be outnumbered here, but I've got the masses on my side,
I think you probably do have the masses on your side.
which is really based in I just think that it's a really awesome performance on his part, and he never lets up through that whole song of just relentless praise of booty.
I think this was a good matchup, though. In the sense, and if anything, if people walk away with it with more knowledge of I Got a Man, then I'm happy
Then we've done
with
our
that.
job.
I feel
Right.
good about that too. That's why
I don't
we
condone the objectification of women in either one of these songs. I
way
just
to
like
throw that in there at the end.
This is the tagline at the very end.
You know, I would definitely file Sir Mix-a-Lot under misogyny rap. It's certainly not as abrasive as what we came to know as like.
No, there's far worse offenders.
That's the tough thing about rap in general is a lot of the can be really catchy and the beats can be big, and then you're like, oh fuck, I'm like, I love my girlfriend. I don't want to hurt her.
Yeah, I mean, and again, there were way worse offenders at the time.
Yeah, they're both pretty safe. But their other tracks, like their album cuts, are like, you know, much more offensive on that side of things.
Really?
Yeah. Both songs are like the only clean songs on the entire record. They're not good people, guys. 36, 24, 36. 1 vote for Baby Got Back and 2 for I Got a Man. Sounds like 3 wins to me. Thanks to our guest Sumak Torgalkar for coming on the show. You can find him at sumakcomedy.com, and we'll post links to his Twitter and website and album on fightsongpodcast.com. We'll be back again in a couple weeks with another matchup. This episode is over.